He's, advocating for the things that his father cared about.
The Fox Virginia News at 10 is next. Tonight, the son of Martin Luther King Jr. is coming to UVA as the latest professor of practice. We'll tell you when he begins.
Dan Jordan, the former president and CEO of the Thomas Jefferson Foundation, passed away last week. We'll share his memorable career.
And a local restaurant now wants you to grab your margaritas to go, all part of a recent bill signed by Governor Glenn Youngkin. We'll tell you more about it. It's 10 o'clock. Time for your Fox Virginia News.
Now, Fox Virginia News at 10.
Well, good Monday evening, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Alexia Williams.
And I'm Ashley Brooks. We'll get to those stories in just a moment, but first, here's Travis with your Fastcast.
And now, your CBS 19 Weather Authority forecast from the Bright Star Care Charlottesville Weather Center.
It was a cold start to the work week for many as temperatures fell below freezing this morning, but we rebounded this afternoon with sunshine and our highs were in the lower 60s. And temperatures right now, respectable, 40s for most, still 50 in Charlottesville, 43 in, or 43 rather in Orange, 44 in Scottsville, 38 in Standardsville and Culpeper right now at 41 degrees. Skies have been clear since early this morning. However, those clouds approaching from the west will eventually overtake things. No rain expected, though, tonight. In fact, we're not going to get any rain from those clouds in that attached system until the middle of the week. So your forecast tonight, low temperature 36 degrees, back in 30s in Charlottesville and surrounding areas with increasing clouds. Your Tuesday will turn out mostly cloudy, but very consistent with temperatures ending up around 60 in the afternoon. As mentioned, we'll get some rain for the midweek. We'll talk about when it starts and how much will fall in just a few minutes.
Sounds good, Travis. The Albemarle County Police Department is investigating a missing persons case turned possible homicide. Police found both 51-year-old Robert Gerald Shiflett and 50-year-old Christy Powell Shiflett's bodies over the weekend. Police say it all started last Friday when Robert Shiflett reported his wife Christy missing. On Saturday, police shifted the investigation to a potential homicide after finding Mrs. Shiflett's abandoned car in a remote field and interviewing Mr. Shiflett. On Sunday, ACPD located the body of Mr. Shiflett in a Crozet cemetery. They're investigating his death as a suspected suicide. Later that day, investigators and state police found a body believed to be Mrs. Shiflett's buried in a makeshift grave in a remote area off of Yellow Mountain Road. This would be the county's first reported homicide this year.
Albemarle County Police are investigating an alleged student-on-teacher assault at the high school, Albemarle County High School, that is. Police say that they responded to a disorderly conduct call at Albemarle High School around noon on Friday. They found that one student had allegedly assaulted a staff member and two other students. All students in the case are juveniles. Now, this is an ongoing investigation at this time.
All fires in Albemarle, Louisa, and Madison counties are now under control or extinguished. However, there are still several fires burning in the Shenandoah Valley. The Department of Forestry says firefighters have nearly gotten all of the blazes in Page and Rockingham counties contained as of this afternoon. However, the Shenandoah National Park is still working with state and local officials to contain the Rocky Branch fire in Page County. That fire has burned more than 980 acres and is just 25% contained at this time. The National Park Institute issued a fire ban last week, which remains in effect as of tonight.
Martin Luther King III has been named a professor of practice at the University of Virginia.
According to the university, he will join the Center for Politics for a term beginning immediately and continuing through the fall semester. Our Fox Virginia's Garrett Whitten has more on this announcement. Hi, Garrett.
Alexia and Ashley, King's first appearance will be on April 5th at the concert in Old Cabell Hall, celebrating the 25th anniversary of the Center for Politics. His father, Martin Luther King Jr., spoke at Old Cabell Hall on March 25th, 1963. During his time at UVA, King will participate in university-wide lectures, serve as a guest lecturer in student seminars, and participate in other university and community events. Center officials say King advances the legacy of his father.
He's, advocating for the things that his father cared about. Again, we had these big landmark civil rights bills that passed in the 1960s. But, I think, unfortunately, a lot of the, discrimination that Martin Luther King Jr. cared about is still present in American life. And Martin Luther King III has, been involved in, a lot of pushes for for social justice.
Connick believes having King on grounds will provide valuable opportunities for students and the community to engage with him and gain his perspective on issues. He will be the center's second professor of practice, joining former Representative Liz Cheney of Wyoming. In the studio, Garrett Witten, Fox Virginia News.
All right, Garrett, thank you for that report tonight. Dan Jordan, former president and CEO of the Thomas Jefferson Foundation, passed away last week. He was instrumental in embracing Jefferson's relationship with his slave, Sally Hemings.
Jordan is known for his accomplishments and also for raising over $210 million, aiding the historical landmarks preservation. Our Fox Virginia's Sarah Allen has more from the mountaintop on Jordan's memorable career. Take a look.
Current foundation president Jane Kaminsky calls Jordan one of the most consequential presidents since Thomas Jefferson himself. Through growing the endowment to introducing slavery tours and telling the untold story of Sally Hemings, Jordan's legacy will not be forgotten.
Much of the beauty you see around you and much of the challenge, much of the vision stem from this bold, courageous, compassionate man.
Dr. Jordan started at Monticello back in 1985 and headed the Thomas Jefferson Foundation until his retirement in 2008. In his time as CEO, Kaminsky says he set a new precedent.
From the beginning, Dr. Jordan said that we were going to embrace the whole history of this place.
And that also included new findings. Back in 1998, DNA testing supported the relationship between Sally Hemings and Thomas Jefferson. And Kaminsky says Jordan immediately took action.
Dan Jordan rushed into the challenge of that moment and also the possibility of that moment. I think part of his commitment as a historian and scholar to follow evidence where it led.
But aside from his accomplishments as president, Jordan was also remembered by his character.
Dan Jordan cared about every single person on the staff, sincerely cared. So many of our colleagues have said to me in the last few days, Dan Jordan took a chance on me.
Dr. Jordan was 85 years old at the time of his passing. He was survived by his wife and partner of more than 62 years, Lou, his brother Joseph Lodwick Jordan, and his 3 children, Dan, Grace, and Catherine. In Albemarle County, Sarah Allen, Fox Virginia News.
Virginia Senator Danica Roem spoke to college students as the final part of UVA's Batten School of Leadership and Public Policy series, Batten Hour. Now, Roem is the first out and seated transgender state legislator in American history and recently released her memoir, Burn the Page, that walks through her childhood and experiences as a journalist and now as a senator. She says that her experiences empowered her to step up and serve the state and wants others to follow in her footsteps.
If you're well qualified, you've got good ideas, bring those ideas to the table because this is your Commonwealth of Virginia too, and it's your turn to run it just as much as it is anyone else's.
Currently serves as senator for Virginia's 30th district, covering areas of Prince William County, including the city of Manassas. Students at Piedmont Virginia Community College's Adult Education Center showed off their new skills to a distinguished visitor today, Senator Tim Kaine.
Kaine toured the facility as he works on some legislation involving job education, but the conversations quickly turned to immigration policies. Our Fox Virginia's Felicity Taylor reports.
Senator Tim Kaine touring PVCC's Adult Education Center to get feedback from its students.
We really want to attend a lot of classes here, more classes for new immigrants, especially focusing on the working or job seeking.
Feedback on 2 pieces of legislation, the reauthorization of the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act, or WIOA, and a new bill called the Jumpstart Our Businesses by Supporting Students, or JOBS Act.
More resources, that's no surprise. The fact that they have to turn students away, new Americans who are excited to get language skills and then get jobs. And, we have a low unemployment rate, and employers are like, it's hard to hire people.
The center offers English as a second language, GED, and job readiness classes. Many students express their concerns that they're in the United States legally, but they're having a hard time getting a job that they feel they're qualified for, or they just can't get a proper work visa.
I would like to work here and pay my taxes and be productive, but I
Does that change your mind or what you guys are going to do moving forward, looking at kind of this illegal immigration and border crisis that we have going on?
I mean, it needs to. I wish, if people, when they hear immigration, I think a lot of people, the first thing they think of is the border. The first thing we should think of is workforce. National security and border issues are really important. And some of the chaos at the border is because if you don't have a robust work visa program, then people who are desperate for opportunities come and they'll make an asylum claim instead.
Felicity Taylor, Fox Virginia News.
More than 900 students participated in Western Albemarle High School Was for a Cause event. They worked on projects on and off campus. Some cleaned up the flower beds around the school, and others painted murals around the campus. Off-campus students picked up trash and crochet. Others taught French to elementary students.
I think people really like doing it. I mean, of course, students like it because they get to miss school, but they also get to do something they feel passionate about. And I think all of the projects, you really get to see that visual change and feel like, wow, I made a difference in my community.
And I think for a lot of people ask, what does a leadership program do? And our philosophy has largely been we should always try to leave the school or leave a place that you're in a better place than when you found it.
And this is their third year with the event.
Governor Glenn Youngkin signed a bill that permanently allows restaurants to sell cocktails to go.
In Virginia, this bill was set to expire July 1st of this year. Our Fox Virginia's Gretchen Stinger spoke to a local business, and they say this change is going to help businesses.
Why travel more when they can already get what they need here?
The Margarita at Guadalajara is a well-known refreshment around Charlottesville, and the establishment is hoping that the bill signed by the governor this weekend means more business.
And with the warmer months around the corner, do you think that could even bring more people in for the cocktails to go?
I would hope so, yeah, because I know people like going out to parks, doing, events where they're allowed to bring, food. I think there's a couple of breweries around that, they're allowed to bring outside food and whatnot. So, I mean, even if, somebody doesn't like beer, if they want to take a margarita or a mixed drink with them, now they're going to have the flexibility.
It started during the pandemic and became a popular takeout option. Now Our Meals says people don't have to change their habits.
Margarita to go. It's been a bonus to have people come in and be able to, as long as they get an entree, they're able to take, some margaritas or any of our, mixed drinks home with them.
Now, there is one change. You can no longer have drinks delivered to you by Uber Eats or other companies. The bill calls for a review of third-party delivery licenses to be finished by November of this year. Well, Easter is right around the corner, and the annual Egg My Yard fundraiser for Miss Virginia is coming to a neighborhood near you. The Miss Commonwealth organization is teaming up with the Easter Bunny to make the holiday a little more magical this year. These local title holders are bringing eggs filled with candy and toys right to your front yard on March 30th, the night before Easter. All funds go straight towards scholarships, and if you want to learn more about how to sign up, be sure to visit our website.
A string of scares in the sky involving Boeing 737 MAX planes.
Boeing CEO is stepping down after a turbulent last few months for the plane manufacturer. I'm Dan Springer in Seattle. That story coming up.
A pair of low-pressure systems heading our way. Rain, not till the midweek. I'll tell you what happens between now and then. I'll tell you how much rain will fall, too, after this.